Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Let's dig in. Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
At the end of almost every sermon I've ever heard, the preacher gives an invitation. Usually we all stand and sing, but the point of that part of the service is for us to respond to what we've been taught. The pastor challenges us to live out what the Bible tells us that the Lord wants, and we have a decision to make. Will we do it, or won't we? Most times these decisions can be made privately in our own hearts, and other times they require us to step out, go to the front, and pray, or make that decision public. We can either accept what the Lord has taught us as truth and apply it to our lives, or we can ignore it and go on as always. And deciding not to decide, well, that counts as a decision too. But at the end of every good sermon is an invitation to do something. It's a fork in the road. We see this at the end of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, almost literally. Jesus invites his listeners, "Enter by the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many who go in by it. But narrow is the gate and difficult is the way that leads to life, and there are few who find it." He had called his disciples to follow him, but they didn't really know what they were getting into. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus described the kingdom and what his followers would be like. He didn't sugarcoat the options. One way is broad, easier, more well-traveled. It feels more natural and comfortable. The other is difficult, narrow, and involves taking up a cross, but it leads to life. The other day I went on a nature trail with my daughter. The wide, smooth path had a boardwalk in places, and oddly enough, it led to a very busy road. The smaller side paths were way more interesting, though, and they were more difficult. The ground was more uneven, less traveled, with more underbrush. As we walked, weeds on either side reached out to tickle our legs. Sometimes we even had to climb over a log or something, or maybe even slog through a slightly muddy spot. But each of those little paths led to a beautiful little stream with a sandy beach where we could take off our shoes and wade in to enjoy the cool water on a hot day. If we'd stayed on the main path, we could have crossed a bridge and seen the creek, but we wouldn't have been able to experience it up close and personal. We were glad we'd chosen the little path. But in life, only one narrow path leads to life: Jesus. He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. There's no other way but through him." And if we believe that, we will accept his invitation to travel with him on that path, and will invite others to come with us. Have you accepted his invitation? Who do you know that you can invite?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes at our website, which you can find in the description below. Thanks for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.